President Trump came under fire the other day with Laura Ingraham because they were talking about the H-1B visas. And Trump was talking about bringing in talent here to the United States. Laura Ingraham pressed him on it. His comments got him in trouble with X and the phonies out there who are now like the sky is falling, MAGA is dead. But this, I'm sure you've all seen it, went super viral, but here's the clip.
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent.
When we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
Right, so right away, everyone right there is like, "Oh my God!" Trump said, we don't have the people here aren't talented. MAGA is dead. All these people now have jumped out the MAGA train, jumped off the MAGA train, who were never really on it to begin with. Let's be honest here. There is so much fighting going on X. It's like a soap opera over on X with the stuff. And the people leading the charge were never truly behind Trump to begin with. They were like more like the people in the DeSantis camp when it came time for the primaries and all that stuff. I don't really pay much attention to all these panicins or these losers who are on there trying to do that. And they're trying to upset the apple cart. They've always hated Trump, and now it's even though many of them have made their fortune or made their fame because of President Donald Trump, now they're like trying to stab him in the back. But that's expected to happen. We've seen it happen during the first administration too. But what Trump is talking about here is there is a skills gap in this country, and I want to play this to kind of who explains it best was Mike Rowe. I spoke to him earlier in February. He spoke about this as Trump is bringing all these manufacturing jobs back to our shores. This was always going to be the problem. Mike Rowe put it beautifully back in February. Take a listen.
We got a skills gap. It's wide. It's big. We got 7.2 million men who are not participating in the workforce, not looking for work. We got $1.7 trillion in student loans on the books. We got 7.6 million open positions that don't require a four-year degree. And yet, we keep lending money we don't have to kids who are never going to be able to pay it back to train them for jobs that don't exist anymore. If we want to close the skills gap, we got to make a more persuasive case for millions of good jobs that nobody knows about and nobody understands. These are six-figure jobs or opportunities that lead straight to a six-figure career. They're everywhere. And if we don't reinvigorate the trades, I'm afraid the president's best efforts to bring manufacturing back to these shores is going to run into a real roadblock. We need an enthused workforce, skilled for the jobs that are out there.
Yeah, well said. As I was telling you, I'm a railroad mechanic. I've been doing that for 25 years. I've been doing side work as an auto mechanic my entire life. I have 4 kids. We own a house. We've been able to live comfortably because of that one skill set of being able to do something mechanically. And
you're not the problem. You should be on a billboard. People should look at your life as an example of what can happen when you master a skill that's in demand and work your ass off. That's still for sale. It's still important. And we have to get in front of that message, and we have to reinvigorate the trades in a way that makes this generation of kids look at careers like the ones you had and go, yeah, damn Skippy, I'd do that.
And these aren't the jobs that are going to be replaced by AI. The plumbers, the electricians, the mechanics, they're not going to be replaced by AI. Yet all these things that people are trading their entire future for, they're all going to be replaced by AI.
You said it, not me, but something tells me your days working on the railroad could not have been done by a robot.
All right, so Mike Rowe talks about many things there, but he talks about this skills gap. How many men that are not participating in the workforce? You also have these college loan debt, so many kids coming out with unskilled labor positions to fill these jobs. There's a major void happening here as Trump is bringing hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs back into the United States without people prepared and ready to go to fill those jobs. Now, those are I would say, basic entry-level jobs you're going to have trouble. And by the way, some of the people who are the sky is falling on X talking about, Americans could fill all these positions. We don't need any foreigners. Yeah. And Trump was not saying that he agrees. If you listen to the clip, he agrees with Laura when she says the H-1B visa program is full of fraud and abuse. We all know that. We don't want to see hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants coming here and stealing jobs from America. That is not what President Donald Trump is saying in that clip, okay? Just to be sure of that. But when it does come to filling up all these jobs, they have to be filled. And right now, our education system in this country is pumping out kids full of bullshit that have degrees that aren't bringing them the skill sets necessary to fill these jobs. There is a humongous gap that is involved in this. And most of these people tweeting about it, they never worked a blue-collar job a day in their life. They've never been in a manufacturing plant or in a manufacturing job. They're telling you, oh, yeah, we could all do this. Americans could do this. They've never done it. They're all a bunch of white-collar people on YouTube and on Twitter and on Instagram. They never held down a real manufacturing job. They've never had a career in a blue-collar industry. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. So it's like you listen to these people, and they sound retarded. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Now, what Trump is talking about here is bringing in the specialists. That's why he references the Hyundai plant, about people coming in for these specialized positions to fill those jobs immediately and be able to train the American workers. And that's what he's talking about. And so the H-1B visa is a scam because people are just like you could look at welfare is a scam, the food SNAP, the SNAP benefits. Now, the shutdown is over. We're going to talk about that also with Jim Paff in just a minute here. But part of that thing was we saw the SNAP benefit people. I don't think they've thanked Trump yet for reopening the government, but we'll see if that comes later. But it's abused. The whole system is abused. It's a good system. It's a helpful system, but it's being abused. Same thing with Section 8 housing. We'll get more into that in a minute. But all these systems in the country are being abused. The H-1B visa system is being abused. Trump's talking about bringing in specialized people here from around the country to help us with some of these positions that are going to be available when it comes to especially like these AI computer chips and all this other stuff. These are things that you're going to need people that know what the hell they're talking about in order to train the American people. That's what he is referring to here. He's not saying Americans don't have the skills, Americans can't work. He's just saying they need to have these people come in here to get it off the ground to help train the American workforce. That's why he uses the Hyundai dealership. I would say if you look back at like World War II, when we built the nuclear bomb, right, we had the Manhattan Project that it was like 130,000 people or however many people were involved. We had American-born people doing that, but it would never have happened without the specialists that were brought in to do all of the beginning stuff. They had people from all over the world, Europe and Germany and Canada, come in, the specialists, to do the whole the network of the thing, and then it was the Americans that built it. I mean, but without those people doing it, we never would have got it finished. It's almost like right after World War II, we brought in like 2,000 German scientists, right? Operation Paperclip. We brought in 2,000 German scientists. And amongst other things, that led to the Saturn V rocket that took us to the moon, right? So now, should we not have brought in those German scientists and allowed the other countries to have those bright minds that brought us this technology? I mean, so that's Trump is talking about bringing in the best of the best. He's always said that. We need to bring in the best of the best because we don't want the rest of the world to have the best of the best. We want them. So that is the point there. It's not Trump saying, and by the way, we have the first net migration loss ever in like forever. All of a sudden, after 4 years of Joe Biden flooding the country with illegals, we now have a net negative when it comes to immigration. We've got more people leaving than coming in. Haven't had that. Trump made that happen. So Trump is working on getting illegal immigrants out of here. Trump is simply talking about bringing in the best of the best. And he's talking about bringing in people that are specialized in getting this stuff done. It's not a knock on the American worker, which, by the way, there is a problem with the American worker, especially with the Gen Z people. Right now, you think Gen Z is looking forward to a 25-year career in a factory? That's not what they're interested in. You talk to regular blue-collar jobs. If you know somebody that owns an auto mechanic shop, talk to them about hiring Gen Z to come in there and get them help. They don't want to do the work. They're not into the blue-collar industries. And so that is a problem that you're having. And you're having this problem with the people that are coming out of college, not equipped for these jobs that are going to be available. And there's going to be lots of these jobs available. And they're good-paying, high-paying jobs that Americans can get and raise a family on. And Mike Rose sounded the alarm on that. Trump understands this problem, and we got to get these jobs filled. If not, we're going to lose these jobs offshore. And so we need to get, number one, get these things up and running. And we do need people that know what the hell they're doing when it comes to these, whatever they are, batteries, AI. I don't know anything about all that technology stuff. And kids in school ain't learning it either. So we definitely have a problem with our education system. And the H-1B visa system is a scam. We know that. Trump has said it from the beginning. Caroline Levitt put out a post about the H-1B visas the other day acknowledging this. She puts the article here from the Daily Wire. Trump admin promises to crack down on H-1B visa abuses. So he's on top of this. It isn't about Trump saying, oh, yeah, now we're just going to flood the country with illegals. It's nonsense that's been going on. All right, so that's my take there on the H-1B visas. And again, most of these people that are crying about all this stuff, they never spun a wrench in their life. They never installed a toilet in their life. They never done a blue-collar job in their life. They certainly never worked in a factory in their life. And they're all riled up like, yeah, we're going to do this. And they ain't doing it themselves. So don't listen to those bullshit artists.
You're listening to the Alec Lake Show. The future is family.